my name is Tatev Abrahamyan. I'm using the Forward Chess app and we are going through a book called Perlo's Endgame Tactics. So I'm kind of jumping around from chapter to chapter so you guys kind of have an idea of what's in the book. So we started from King and Pawn Endgames, and then we just did one with Queens and Stalemate. So you have a better idea of what's in the book. So now we are on Rook End Game. Alright, you're in check. Rook E1 is a good move, so I guess we're gonna trade Queen Kings. I take your king. I take your king, you take my king, and we make a draw. Yeah, so this is an endgame you should know. So maybe if you solved the 100 endgames you would know this endgame. This is actually an endgame that does happen a lot in chess. And a lot of people lose this endgames. Levon has lost to Magnus before. Because Rook endgames are just difficult. No matter how well you know them, and no matter how good you are at chess. So you have, okay, you have 3 moves. Yeah, so this rook, this endgame is a draw, and the way you draw this endgames is general rule to know. King needs to be on the short side, and the rook has to be on the long side. So we take the pawn, and you divide the board. So this is the short side because it has 2 files, and this is the long side because it has more files. So your rook needs to be on the active side, and your king needs to be on the passive side. Okay. Black resigned. I like these comments. These comments are really funny. It says, it's unbelievable, but in this position from Saks Zeszowski from Zagreb, 1975, Black resigned. This must have caused him grief afterwards, as it is actually a draw after King H7. But this is a strange position to resign in, right? Yeah, if your opponent lets you get... wait. No, you go back. You cannot go here. Here, you're just losing. So if I check you back on H2, you go back to G6. So King H7 and now F7. And says there's a venomous little snake in the grass here. So I look from the point of the view of the person whose turn it is. So if it's black turn, we'll look at it from black's point of view. Yeah, if it was the other way around, then here you would go King H5. Otherwise, King H7 is a loss. Let's look at the Venomous Snake. Yeah, the Venomous Snake is actually Rook E8. Wait, not Rook E8, Rook E1. You guys are confusing me. Yeah, so your 2 options are either check or Rook C8. So either you're stopping my pawn or you are you're either stopping my pawn or you're checking my king. So you cannot pass, right? Your opponent has a deadly threat, so either you distract with a check or you stop the threat. Alright, so let's check it out. So this is let's check out the Venomous Snake. So Rook E1. And King F8. Okay, so now this is what I mean. Rook endgames are just never easy. Rook endgames are just a pain. So now we have a big threat, right? So we're threatening check and King G8. Wait. So we're threatening Rook H2 check and King G8, and you're just resigning. So what do we need to do? So you need to stop that idea. Because if I pass... now I'm just queening. You're just resigning here. Okay, so now Rook F1. I think Rook F1 and Rook H1 run into the same thing. Okay, let's see if you guys can find a win here. So the idea of Rook F1 is if you check... Wait, where's Rook F1? I mean, just check. Rook F1 does not seem like a Good fighting move, right? I mean, okay, he gives a different solution, but there's different ways of winning here. Okay, this should just be a win. You cannot take because I just check. So that's why we have an engine. The engine agrees with me, which is all that matters. Okay, but let's try Rook H1. Rook H1 makes more sense. Yeah. Okay, let's try to find a win here. Ooh, we're at 500 followers, so thank you everyone. And those of you who are just joining, do check out Forward Chess, where you can buy books. And you have a $10 coupon. So the book that we are... Oh my god, I cannot type the command. This is why I need mods. You have a $10 coupon, so if you're enjoying this book, which I hope you are, because I am, we can buy this book. And if you do buy this book, do let me know in the chat. And then you can tell me how much you guys hate doing endgames. Yeah, so now we go Rook G7. If the king goes up, we go King G8. Rook E3 is also possible, but okay, there's probably a lot of ways of winning here by now. And now Rook E7, and then checks, and I just run away. And then I just come closer to your rook, and I'm just gonna queen my pawn. Okay, so let's go... Let's go to this position. Well, patience, my friend. So we saw the Venomous Snake. So let's see what other options there are. Okay, so you have your only other move is Rook C8. So what do you guys think? And simply swing. And yeah, my rook is on the right side. So my rook is just going to check you from the side. So if you try to bring your rook around, and let's say you're threatening King E7 now. So if I pass, how do I pass? Then you go King E7, and then you're gonna block from the side. But now I'm going to, excuse me, attack your pawn, and then if you play here, I just put my king in front of the pawn, and that is just over. So this is just a very simple draw, because now my king is just in front of the pawn, and I have an active rook. So I'm just gonna check you forever, and your rook cannot really leave. Do check out the app, please, and do use a coupon. Why not use a discount to buy something? But otherwise, I think I'm done for today. So thank you everyone for joining me, and thanks to chat for being so interactive. Those of you who are just joining,